But firstly, we've been having a little look at the FIFA Best Awards that took place in London tonight. And there is a new world best player. And just to give you a clue, it's not Messi or Ronaldo.
OK, so here we are. The best FIFA Men's Player of the Year award goes to?
Officially, the best player of the year is Luka Modric.
There you go, Luka Modric going up to take his prize, beating Ronaldo and Mohamed Salah as well. Look at him there. What a worthy winner as well. I mean, some of the stats, guys, what he's done this year, he's such a fantastic team player, but also individually, the journey that he's been on this summer, taking Croatia to a World Cup final is just phenomenal. Do you think he's a worthy winner, Paul?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think he's... For the World Player of the Year, I think the pinnacle is the World Cup, and the way he performed in the World Cup was just unreal. I mean, in the England game, I mean, he just constantly kept on running. I don't think I've seen anybody as fit as that on a football pitch. He just kept on going and going, and not just running. I mean, his quality. I just think he's top draw, and he quietly would probably have a little Harry Redknapp, because if you think when Modric was at Tottenham, he was struggling a bit, and then Harry went there and he went, right, bang, he put him in a position where he'd get him on the ball, and after that he's never looked back, and a worthy winner.
Let's have a look at some of these stats then, Steve. We just mentioned it there. He captained his Croatia to a World Cup final. He won the Golden Ball at 2018 World Cup, won the Champions League and the FIFA Club World Cup as well with Real Madrid. I mean, it's quite impressive, isn't it? 43 appearances, 2 goals, 8 assists for Real Madrid. And he's that kind of player, isn't he? I mean, you can't call him an unsung hero because everybody knows his talents, but for a player like this to go on and win an award like this, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it breaks the mould, obviously, with Messi and Ronaldo do it the last 10 years, but you know, what Merson was saying there when he was at Spurs, I mean, I was fortunate enough to play against him when he was at Spurs, and
what was he like?
he got games by the scruff of the neck, and was just, you know, when he dominated, you couldn't get near him. I mean, he was that good, and he dictated the tempo, he set the tone, the standard for the game, and he made players around him play better as well, and raise their game. You just mentioned it, Messi and Ronaldo have dominated this for the last decade, and if you just want to have a little look, if you don't believe us, we can show you a graphic, because it really is. Look at that. All the way down to 2008, just a flip-flop between Ronaldo and Messi. Is it a sign that perhaps with Luka Modric coming in and breaking the mould, like we say, a sign that this era, this Ronaldo and Messi era, is starting to close?
I think it's starting to close. I still think they'll be in the running next year. I think they're top draw players, and they perform on the big stage. And you'd expect Barcelona and maybe Real Madrid to really be pushing at the end of the Champions League. So they won't go away. But it is nice that FIFA can spell other names, which is nice. But Modric is only, how many letters is that? 5?
You're the last person that needs to be worried about that. Do you think we'll ever see the like of this again? You just saw in that graphic a decade dominated by 2 players. Are we ever going to see anything like that again? What worries me with the new batch of players coming through now is the mental side of it. I mean, you look at Ronaldo and Messi, they was obsessed, obviously, with their own performances, but obsessed about beating the other one. So if Messi scored 2, Ronaldo had to score a hat-trick. You know, and that's what worries me now with these new players that come through now, the Neymars and Hazards and Mbappes. You know, have they got the mental toughness to really sort of dig it in year out to go on and be the very, very best in their field? There was a couple of curious things that we want to talk about the FIFA Best Awards, but one of them was that Mohamed Salah, who was shortlisted for the top 3, didn't make it into the best 11. And we can show it to you in a minute who did make the best 11. But what did you think of that when that came out and he wasn't in the best 11? Well, it just sums it up, really. It does. I mean, it's atrocious, really. You know, if you're in the 3 for the best in the world, so he probably comes second in this. So if he's the second best player in the world, how's he not getting the Team of the Year? Who should he have kept out? Anybody, don't matter. Anybody. He's the second best player in the world, so he gets in. I mean, you know what? I'm Hazard's biggest fan. I'm his biggest fan. I think he's top draw, but I don't think he had a great season. You know, Chelsea
middle of the table.
Do you think this is based around the World Cup as well?
Yeah, I would have said so. It's got to be. But then Salah was injured in the World Cup, but he got his team to the World Cup. He scored a penalty in literally the last minutes to take his team to the World Cup. And to score that many goals in England, I mean, this is a hard league, our Premier League, and that's why it's the best in the world. For him not to get in is...
Yeah.
I think they'll sit down tomorrow, FIFA, and think, we've dropped one here.
Do you think they will?
Surely, they've got to. I mean, he's in the top 3, so why is he not in it?
Well, let's have a little look at some of his stats, just to show what a phenomenal season he's had. We all remember that Champions League final with Liverpool. 10 Champions League goals for Liverpool, the joint second top goal scorer in the Champions League. 32 Premier League goals for Liverpool. That's a new record in a 38-game season. I mean, it is phenomenal. He's had the season of his life, and we'll discuss whether we think he's going to replicate that or not, but you still think that doesn't warrant a best player? Or at least an 11.
The levels that he set, the standards that he set last year. I mean, there was games where, as soon as he got in the box, whether it was on his left foot or his right, or if it was coming on a cross on his head, you're thinking goal. Yeah. You're thinking goal straight away. So, can he repeat it this year? We'll see. But I mean, from what he done last year, he should be.